Virgo babies, how are you doing? I hope that you are well. I hope that you're wonderful. My name is Yvonne. You might know me as Luna with LT Reads. Before I get any further into this reading, I know that my Virgos are one of the most critical when it comes to my collective of appearance, and you guys can be quite, and gals of course, can be quite judgmental, so please pardon me. I just wanted to do your reading, and I didn't want you to have to wait any further. So if you must bear with me, just turn your device, your screen off, or just listen in. I've set the intentions of this reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, and Venus. If you don't know what your placements are, feel free to check the description box below. We are doing an April energy check-in. Sorry, I don't believe that I mentioned that because I was so concerned about what's going on over here. But yes, check your placements. If you find that this reading doesn't resonate, you will find yourself somewhere in your other placements. Only take that which resonates and leave behind what does not. If you do find it resonates, I would really appreciate it if you like, share, comment, subscribe, help the message get across to a fellow Virgo who may need it, help my channel grow, and let me know what's going on. All right, my darling, your energy feels pretty good, so let's hope that the cards reflect that same thing. What's going on for my beautiful Virgos for the month of April? Seven of Wands to the King of Wands. Not going to take all of that. Your cards are flying. Ace of Wands, Four of Swords. Who is this King of Wands? Show me the Seven of Wands, please, for Virgo. Thank you. Whoa. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Cups in reverse. Okay. Show me this Ace of Wands here, please. Moon in reverse. Temperance in reverse. Show me the Four of Swords in reverse, the Page of Swords. Why the Page of Swords? The Empress. Ooh. Okay, Virgo, wow. This is going to need to be clarified, but I was just so nosy. It was a little bit tricky to figure out what's going on here. So from what I can gather, we're looking at a past connection here that is coming back. This may be a true pairing, a soulmate connection if you believe in such a thing. But with the Emperor and the Empress here, I do see quite a strong bond at the very least. With the Seven of Wands here, I feel like you are very protective and defensive against renewing this. With the Ace of Pentacles, I don't think that you want to commit or invest in this again or give any of your energy, time, or effort towards this, because with the Page of Cups in reverse, you may feel reluctant to open up to this person, or you may also feel like they are emotionally immature. I'm gonna definitely have to clarify this. But with the King of Wands here to the Emperor, I do believe that is the other energy that you're dealing with. Could be another, sorry, not another, but it could be a fire energy rather. Doesn't have to be, but I'm seeing the Emperor and the King of Wands. So it could be an Aries strongly, or Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person is showing up rather angry, potentially manipulative. I don't think so. I think they're just angry, but very rightfully so. Like they feel very entitled to their frustration. Why that is, I'm not sure. We're going to dig at that and find out. With the Ace of Wands here, there is a strong sexual attraction between the two of you. You can't deny that. Maybe the sex was great. Maybe the flirting was really great. Maybe the nudes were lit. Who knows? But with the Moon in reverse here, one or both of you is coming to see something clearly, or there's some kind of truth coming to light. Secrets maybe being shed. Who knows? But with Temperance here in reverse, it looks like there's an overall lack of reconciliation and or balance. Or maybe somebody here, whether it's you or them, is lacking patience and seeing this whole thing come back together, if at all. With the Four of Swords here, this is the main reason why I feel like this is a past energy, but the Four of Swords precedes the Three of Swords. So there's been some kind of past heartbreak in and amongst this bond. With the Four of Swords here, it feels like you've already gone in there, done your resting, your healing. But now it's being disturbed by the fact that even though you feel like you've been resting and healing, at the same time you're still restless because you still reflect upon this connection. You still have a lot of love for it. And you may find yourself still keeping an eye on this person behind closed doors on their social media, through their friends, and just creeping. Or maybe you try and throw a text every once in a while, you know, land in the DMs. I don't know, but this is very, very interesting, Virgo. So I was wondering why your energy was feeling so funky. Okay, let's take a look at the Seven of Wands here, please, for my beautiful Virgos. We have, who is this? What is that? Three of Wands in reverse. I think you're defensive because you waited a long time for this person to come back. Like, they may be coming out of the woodwork here. Who knows how long it's been since you've spoken or since you've had contact. Show me this Ace of Pentacles here in reverse. The Five of Pentacles. Yeah, they left you out in the cold. They may have, I don't know who broke it off here, Virgo. Doesn't really matter. I don't like playing the blame game. But regardless of whoever ended things, you know, in breakups, one person is usually left to feel neglected, abandoned, left out in the cold. You're showing me that. And because of that, you don't want to renew this again. Because why would you risk that potential feeling or heartbreak again? I don't blame you. Show me this Page of Cups here, please, in reverse. Tell me more about the Page of Cups. Thank you. This might hurt. Offering your love to this person will hurt you again because you've already been there, done that. That's why you're so defensive and protective in the first place. Like, yeah, okay, I get it. So, King of Wands here in reverse, I'm pretty sure that's you. Show me more about that, please, for my beautiful Virgo. Why is the King of Wands here in the reverse, please? The Ten of Swords to the Page of Swords. Yeah, this person, yeah, that's not you, that's them. They also feel like you have deceived them or hurt them in some way, betrayed them. They have gone through the process of feeling like this is over too. But at the same time, it's very interesting how both of you are showing me Page of Swords. You both are keeping an eye on each other. So simultaneously spying on each other. But the best thing about the Page of Swords, not really the best, but in this particular case, I'm being a little bit sarcastic and facetious. But the Page of Swords is about wanting to observe and learn, but not having the initiative to take any action. Okay, so we're creeping, but we don't want to talk or, you know, let on how we feel. That's under wraps. With the Emperor here, show me that, please. Show me this Emperor energy. Please. Show me the Emperor, please. Tell me more. Thank you. The Hanged Man. So remember how I mentioned how this person feels very righteous in their frustration? The reason why is because there's likely been a long period of time here where you two haven't spoken, and they have been trying to consider things from every possible different angle. This is them trying to gain perspective on where things may have gone wrong, how they could have changed their potential actions, how they've treated you, how they want things to look moving forward, how they're going to go about doing that. There's a lot of thinking going on there. And with that being said, that pause is also causing them to refrain from taking any action, even though they're still intrigued and interested in what you're up to, despite this heartbreak and turmoil that clearly both of you have faced. Show me this Ace of Wands. I want to see this Ace of Wands, please, for Virgo. Thank you. What is that? The Eight of Pentacles. Show me more, please, about this Eight of Pentacles. Whoa. Who is that? Pardon me, Virgo. The Knight of Swords in reverse and the Eight of Swords. Oh, man. Okay. Eight to an 8. Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay. What I think I'm looking at here, Virgo, is past energy. So when this bond first began with the Ace of Wands, it was passionate, it was exciting. Probably, again, that sexual attraction is very underlying for me. I can't help but mention that. But anyways, maybe I'm just horned up. But like, it felt like things were headed in a new and positive direction. And there was equal level of what you thought initially to be investment or commitment. But later on down the line, maybe very quickly down the line, with the Knight of Swords here, even though there was this promise of work, commitment, and investment, there wasn't much action to show for it. Or there was some kind of lack of truth. And with the Eight of Swords, maybe you felt like you were stuck in place because you were potentially being deceived. I don't know why I'm hearing that, but when you're stuck between your mind and your feelings, something about this makes me feel like you knew all along, but you tried to give benefit of the doubt, or you tried to have hope, or you just weren't able to make that call rationally. And I'm not blaming you. Like, with the moon here, sometimes we don't know the full story, or we don't know how the other person feels. We don't know what direction to move when we're stuck in the dark. Show me this moon in reverse, please, for Virgo. Taking me for a little trip here, baby. My goodness. Show me the moon here in reverse for Virgo. The Nine of Wands. Yeah. I think it got to a point where you just got so tired of overthinking and trying so hard and trying again and again to make this work, but being met with resistance, that with Temperance in reverse here, please show me that. Thank you. The Queen of Pentacles. You decided to focus more on your independence, on your finances, on your work, your career, your home, your stability, your sense of security, your groundedness. Probably a little bit trying to do so, but you felt it was very necessary, I think. How long it's taken you to do that, or if you're even there yet, I'm not sure. All of my Virgos are on a different timeline, but show me this Four of Swords here, please, in reverse. Thank you. Judgment in reverse. I think that you made the call intuitively, Virgo, that this cannot be reconciled. You can't give it a second chance. But at the same time, it has you feeling restless because maybe you still dwell on the what ifs. But I want to encourage you to look back on your past when you've already put in the work and effort and you were met with a lack of reciprocity or mutuality. You know, do you really think that there's a capability to change here. This is the time in the reading where I want to remind you that a relationship of any sort, whether it's romantic, platonic, familial, within the workplace, whatever it is, it requires equal participation. And that is within two people. Okay? So when you are left to carry the heft and weight, and you've come to realize that, well, sometimes we need to leave things where they lie. Is that a saying? I think that's a saying. Let's take a look here at this Empress, please. Thank you. The Page of Pentacles. Again? Wait, no. But it upright. Holy. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Page of Cups. To the Wheel of Fortune. Queen of Swords. Okay. Virgo, if you were to give your time, energy, investment, renew this, give your feelings, vulnerability, and effort into this bond once again, communicate, you would probably be going through a repetitive toxic cycle with the Wheel of Fortune. It would be the same thing over and over again. And with the Queen of Swords here, I think in the past you lacked the, not a knock, don't take it if it's not you, but you lacked the logic, reason, and practicality to understand this because your heart was a little bit tangled in the mix of things and you weren't trusting your intuition or your mind. However, now with this Empress energy, you are fully stepping into your power, taking care of yourself, going from a Queen of Pentacles to the Empress. Fuck yeah. Sorry, pardon my French. But I love that for you. With the Page of Swords here, it doesn't mean that you don't still reflect upon this past connection. Maybe you do still creep every once in a while. But it doesn't change the fact that you have claimed your sense of self-worth, your desires, your boundaries. Those are, it's not a line in the sand anymore. It's a full-on barricade that is impenetrable unless you allow someone in. Okay, sorry. But maybe some of that sexual energy is coming back in. I don't know. But Virgo, let's take a look at your advice, babe, because I don't really think you need it, but just for funsies, I love this reading for you. Stand strong in your willpower, your courage, your bravery, your determination. You may have times where you want to fluctuate and your feelings are like making you lean towards, maybe I will give this another chance. Maybe if they sweet talk me enough, or maybe if I convince myself that things can change. But that little whisper inside that you don't really listen to, the one that, this devil on your shoulder that makes you think that you can overcome things, but you've already overcome that past. Don't let that take over. That's pretty cool split. What's your advice, babe? I want to do this deck, actually. King of Pentacles in reverse to the Queen of Wands in reverse. You should only move towards things that you feel secure in. In other words, you want to be able to rely upon your partner, right? You want to have a certain level of stability, of comfortability, of knowing that you can count on this person at the end of the day. And if you can't, well, then why would you bother investing yourself into it? Straight up. Queen of Wands, well, you also want to feel passionate, inspired, and focused towards this bond. And you want them to feel that same way. King and a queen here. You're talking about passion and commitment. You're talking about love and stability, charisma, enthusiasm, keeping that spark alive while still maintaining that level of foundation. However, where there's positives, there's also negatives, Virgo. So we have to be careful not to slip into our insecurities or into our anger. Sometimes when we've gone through so many experiences where we've lacked the same commitment that we have tried to give forth, we can grow insecurities that regard jealousy or possessiveness or lack of self-esteem. I'm not saying that you do, but it's just a forewarning because, you know, we all have positive and negative attributes, and the same applies to these tarot cards and these readings. So as long as you're able to rationalize and see both sides of the proverbial metaphorical coin in your life, in these readings, in your relationships, in your finances, in your career, in your relationships, I think that is the most important. Let's pull one more. The Page of Wands. So you have a spark within you that needs to be reignited, Virgo. What is it that you want to move towards? What really excites you? What is it that you want to look forward to? What gives you a sense of focus or clarity? Is it a hobby? Is it a passion? Is it a new career? Is it starting a new relationship where you can find these qualities? Whatever it is to you, go and get it. But whatever it, like, don't go back to that, please. Okay? With love and light, I hope this helped one of my Virgos out there. And until we meet again, mwah.